everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do the ride or die makeup tag video. I think that's what it's called. This was originally started by Jacqueline Hill and I'm pretty sure you all know who she is, but just in case you don't, I will link her channel down below. This is basically a tag where you pick one product out of each category, and that would be like your holy grail product, the product that you would take to a desert island and so forth and so forth. So I've tried to do that, but I think when it came to one category in particular, I did struggle a little bit, and I think I've got 3 in front of me. I might try and narrow it down to 2 as I film the video, but I'm going to get straight into it with the first category, that is primer. Now actually I don't use primer. I do sometimes if I'm going on a night out, but there's nothing that I can think of that I would say, oh I need that, I would take it onto a desert island. I wouldn't, I don't really care that much, so I'm just not going to do that category. The next one is foundation. I feel like a lot of people be sat there watching this thinking, oh, she's going to say the Kiko Universal Fit Hydrating Foundation, and wow, that was a mouthful. And yes, while that is a foundation that I absolutely love, I also really like investing in a good high-end base, and there is one other product that I love just that little bit more than the Kiko one, and that is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I have this in the shade 7.5. I love this foundation for a number of reasons. First of all, it has just the right amount of yellow undertone to it. It doesn't oxidize, which is always quite a big deal for me. It has a beautiful dewy finish, but it's not too dewy, and that's great because I have pretty oily skin, especially in the summer, and I love that I can wear this foundation throughout the year and it just looks really good. I also love the fact that it isn't completely full coverage, so I personally prefer a medium, like a light to medium coverage foundation, and this one can be built up to full coverage, but I just absolutely love this foundation. It's definitely my holy grail. Moving on to corrector and concealer, you guys will all know this if you've even watched maybe one of my videos in the past, and you know that I'm obsessed with the Bobbi brand corrector in the shade Deep Peach and Dark Peach. I find that my dark circles sometimes need Deep Peach and sometimes they need Dark Peach. There's just the tiniest difference between the 2 different shades, but I'm quite pedantic and so I do sort of switch it up. I would show you Dark Peach, but I've only got this one to hand because I ran out of the other one this morning, which is really annoying, but this is my holy grail, obviously. And of course my holy grail concealer is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Caramel. I absolutely love this concealer. It's the only brand that I've ever come across that do this exact shade of concealer. MAC don't do one, Bobbi brand don't do one. Literally, I'm not even exaggerating, I have tried about 30 to 35 different brands. I've either bought them, got a sample, got a shade matched. I always carry this in my handbag if I'm going makeup shopping, but there's just literally nothing out there that's this shade, Caramel. There is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer. It's a very good close second, but this is definitely my favourite. Moving on to powder, I'm going to do an under eye setting powder because I don't really set my foundation with powder. I'm not a fan of the matte look, and I find that even though I have oily skin, my skin isn't that oily that I need to set it with powder. But my absolute favourite under eye setting powder is this Laura Mercier, let me just check the name. Yeah, it's the Secret Brightening Powder, so it's not the loose translucent powder, which I think is a lot bigger, that everyone raves about. I really like the Secret Brightening Powder. Haven't tried the other one, but I just find that with most translucent powders, setting your under eye area, especially when you have dark circles and pigmentation, can really make that area and that part of your face look really ashy. And I've tried so many translucent powders. I love this one because it doesn't do that. The powder's really finely milled, and there's just some sort of magic ingredient in it that really does brighten up the whole area. I just absolutely love it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it is quite expensive for a powder, so I was kind of on the fence for a long time before I finally purchased it, but you know what, I'm probably about halfway through it already and I have no regrets. So if you are looking for something that doesn't make your under eye area look all ashy, then I definitely give this one a go. Next up is bronzer. Now I'm not gonna lie, I haven't tried that many bronzers just because for years and years I always just thought, why do I need to make my skin look tan? Like, I'm already brown, so I didn't really see the point. So I've only tried a handful, but now I completely love bronzer, especially for those natural no makeup days and you just want to wear foundation and you can't really because your face just looks flat. I just add the tiniest bit of bronzer just to warm my complexion up a little bit. And out of the few that I have tried, my favourite is definitely the NARS Casino bronzer. Again, there are probably loads of dupes for this and loads more affordable options out there, but I just thought I want to try the best, and of course I fell in love with it. I'm not sure if you'll be able to make out on camera, but I've kind of just hit pan. There's the tiniest little dot in the centre. This has actually lasted me for probably coming up to 2 years. I mean, I don't wear makeup every day, but that's still quite a long time. I'm really impressed. I think it's definitely worth the investment because it's so pigmented. A little bit just goes a long way. And what I also do with this bronzer is, again, on those no makeup days where I just want to add a little bit of colour to my face, I just sweep a little bit of that bronzer all over my eyelids, and it just doubles up as a really nice eyeshadow, so I really love this. Moving on to blush. Now, I kind of have 2 blushes in front of me. I'm going to tell you both of them because I feel like one of them may actually be discontinued. It is so old, and to be honest, that's one of the reasons why I don't really wear it very much anymore, because I've literally lost count of the number of years that I've had it. So I don't really want to be putting makeup that could possibly have gone off on my face, but I'm going to tell you about both of them anyway. This is the Bobbi Brown blush in the shade Rose number 3. I don't know if 3 means anything. I mean, I haven't even hit pan on it, and I used to use it all the time. I just find that it is my absolute perfect shade of mauve. It's not the most pigmented if I compare it to like a NARS blush. This is what it looks like with a few swipes, and I just really like it. I think it looks so natural on my skin tone, and it just sort of warms up my face really nicely and gives my cheeks a little bit of colour, which is basically what blush is supposed to do. But my second blush, which I really like, again, I think this is also quite an underrated product, is this Smashbox Halo blush. This is their Halo Longwear blush in the shade Blissful. This is almost the same colour, and this is really strange packaging. So it has a really big mirror in here, and if you can see, it looks like this. So the blusher is actually in the bottom part of this, if that makes sense, and what you do is you twist this, and the little grill thing almost scrapes the blusher out, so you get a little bit of the blush coming up to the surface, so you end up with loose blush. I don't know if I'm explaining that very well. The first time I wore this, I think I did it in one of my videos actually, I literally had 2 bright pink stripes across my face. I cannot explain to you how pigmented this blush is. I don't think I've ever come across any blusher that's been as pigmented as this. I'm just going to show you the tiniest amount on this clean finger. So I'm just going to dip it in there. I've just got the tiniest amount here. Look at that. Where's it gone? There. It is crazy pigmented. You really, honestly, really need just the tiniest amount, and it will go such a long way. And I think I do prefer this one to the Bobbi Brown actually, because it's a little bit deeper, and I feel like that just complements my skin tone just that bit more. So it's a beautiful mauve shade. So that's the Smashbox one, and that's the Bobbi Brown one. So yeah, if I had to pick one, it would definitely be Smashbox. Not a fan of the packaging though. It's just a bit big and bulky and kind of unnecessary, but what can you do? Okay, moving on to highlight. I actually have 2 products because I use a concealer to highlight my face. So that would be like a cream highlight, and then I just use a regular powder highlight. So first of all, I've been using this Maybelline Eraser Eye Concealer in the shade Nude as a highlight for my face for years. This is probably my 5th or my 6th tube of this. Absolutely love it. Wasn't a huge fan of the packaging when I first bought it, but actually I've grown accustomed to it. I just find this shade, it would never work for me as a traditional concealer because it's just too pale. And also I should point out that in the UK we only get 2 shades, and this one is the darkest. So it would never work for me as a concealer, but I love using it as a highlight. I just find that it just adds a bit of dimension to my face. And if you've ever watched any of my makeup tutorials, you'll know that this is the one that I use pretty much most of the time. Okay, so my powder highlight of choice was actually really difficult because although I haven't tried anything like the likes of Becca, for example, which I know would probably be most people's favourite, I only really have about 5 highlights maybe that I go back and forth in between, and there's 3 out of the 5 that I use all the time. So this was quite difficult, but I think if I could only pick one to take to a desert island with me, it would actually be this Kiko Wet and Dry eyeshadow in the shade 208. Wait until you see how much of this I've used. In fact, it might not even come up on camera. So I hit pan on this quite a long time ago, but it's quite a weird shape. So as opposed to like any other blusher that's normally flat, this one's got like big dips in it, and it's really nice because you can actually use it wet and dry. I will admit though that I don't often use it wet because I feel like it's too intense, but just to show you, I have used it wet today. So if you really do want your glow to just pop, then definitely use it with a bit of MAC Fix Plus, or even just a bit of water, just to wet your brush and dip it in there, and it just looks amazing on. I just think this is such a gorgeous shade because it is properly gold. Moving on to mascara, this is one that I repurchase all the time. It's a Maybelline Lash Sensational mascara. I have a whole blog post on this, and I find this is the only mascara that really holds a bit of a curl in my lashes. If you've watched my LVL lash lift video, you'll know that my eyelashes literally just face downwards on one eye. There's no curling them whatsoever. Eyelash curlers just do not work for me. So for me, it really is a case of LVL is like a necessity as opposed to a luxury treatment. But in between treatments, I find this is actually amazing. No other mascara really lifts my lashes in the way that this one does. I really like the formula of it, and it separates my lashes nicely. I also like the wand because it's not like a big fat bristle brush. I have really short eyelashes, and I just find that with those big fat bristle brushes, even though they give you the volume, I just find that with short eyelashes, it ends up everywhere. I just haven't perfected that yet. So yeah, this is definitely my favourite mascara. Again, I've just lost count of the number of times that I've repurchased this. I feel the need to apologise for being such a cliche with the next product, but honestly, I think this is actually my favourite eyeshadow palette, and it will come as no surprise to anyone that follows me on Instagram, or reads my blog, or has watched my videos, or just follows me on Snapchat. It's pretty much all I use when I'm going out, if that makes sense. And I just think this is the perfect palette. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. Of course, every blogger loves this, and with good reason. I feel like very few products actually live up to the hype, and this one certainly does. I don't often give into the hype. I'm so glad that I did with this one, but this is what the palette looks like. It is every warm eyeshadow lover's dream. I love the fact that if I just want a very natural makeup look, I can use something like warm taupe all over the lid. I can smoke it out with Cypress Umber for a bit of a smoky eye in the evenings. I can add a bit of gold, a bit of brow bone highlight. I can add any warm tones. I've even used Love Letter, that bright pink up there. Just that was the colour that kind of terrified me a little bit, but in fact, it looks amazing in the crease. I just think this is such a beautiful palette, and it's so versatile. I cannot get enough of it. And just think that if you haven't got this palette, then I would seriously consider splurging on it. It's just the best palette ever, honestly. Okay, so for eyebrows I have two products, but they are both different, so I'll tell you why. First of all, I have this NYX eyebrow gel in the shade Espresso. I have tried the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, and although the shade wasn't quite right for me, I honestly don't see much difference between that and this. This is, I think, £5, £5.50, £6, and the other one is £15. And I mean, the other one's a glass pot, so it's a bit heavier, like if you want to travel with it. This one's travel friendly, but I have to say that I hate the packaging. I always squeeze a little bit out onto the back of my hand and then do my eyebrows, but that little dot on my hand does not budge. It is one of these products that is great because once it's on your eyebrows, you can sweat, you can go swimming, you can go for a shower, and it just doesn't budge with water. So while that's great for an eyebrow product, it is a nightmare to get it off my hand. I always end up using a clean cotton pad or a cotton bud just to try and scrub it all off. But yeah, if you're into eyebrow gels or pomades, then I would definitely give this one a go. My second one is also by NYX, and it's their Tinted Brow Mascara, again in the shade Espresso. I just really like this to go back over my eyebrows on top of the gel. I just find that it really picks up all your eyebrow hairs evenly, and it just coats them really well. So if you've used too much gel and your eyebrows are looking a little bit too painted on, this just picks up the hair and defines them so they look a little bit more natural. So this is such a great product, and again I think it's around about the £5 mark or so. Okay, the next category, which is lipstick. I thought this was so difficult. I love my lipstick. I love everything from really pale nudes that don't always suit me to mauves to nudes. I love red, I don't wear it very often, to bright pinks, to bright colours like this. I also love blues and purples and greys, and just alternative colours that the regular person wouldn't really wear. So this was such a difficult category for me, but I do feel like if I was stuck on a desert island, I wouldn't really want like an alternative colour like blue or grey or whatever. So I have narrowed it down to 3, but bear with me, I've done one like lipstick, like regular lipstick, and one liquid lipstick. but I've got 2 liquid lipsticks. But then I've tried to pick like a bold and a nude, so I can give you my favourite bold and my favourite nude shade, if that makes sense. Okay, I think I know where I'm going with this. So first of all, I'm going to do my regular lipstick, which is the one that I'm wearing today. I absolutely love this shade. It is MAC Relentlessly Red. This is what it looks like. I think it's kind of an underrated shade. The reason I love it so much is that it isn't quite red and it isn't quite pink. It's more of a pinky red and it sits somewhere in between the two. I don't often wear red lipstick, even though I love it, because I just tend to go quite overboard with my makeup, even when I'm trying not to. I just love eyeshadow. I just love putting everything on my face all the time, and you can't always wear a red lipstick with everything. But yeah, so this is my favourite shade. I have to say though that I don't like the formula. It is a matte lipstick. Is it a matte? No, it's a retro matte lipstick from MAC. If you've tried any matte lipsticks from MAC before, you'll know how drying they are on the lips, and retro mattes are even more dry. But I just love this colour so much. I just think it really amps up your look and adds a little bit of that wow factor if you've got a bit of a basic face on. So moving on to my favourite liquid lipstick. This was so hard. Initially I picked Kat Von D Lolita, but I don't want this to be a "this is what everyone loves and I love it too" style video, because I do love this shade. I do think Kat Von D makes some of the best quality liquid lipsticks out there, but I don't actually reach for it all the time, if I'm completely honest. So the one that I think would be my favourite desert island nude lipstick would be this one. This is the Violet Voss lipstick in the shade Lust. I don't think I've heard anyone talking about Violet Voss liquid lipsticks before, but every time I wear this shade, I just get so many compliments. It's not the best formula, but it's really not bad. It is quite long lasting. It's not that drying on the lips, and it's just beautiful. It's kind of like this cool toned beigey grey shade with a bit of a pink undertone to it. I think it's quite unique. It's kind of similar to NYX's Liquid Suede in Sandstorm, but that one's just a bit paler than this, so it doesn't really suit me. I just honestly love this one so much. I get so many compliments on it every single time that I wear it. I'll try and find the link to this and leave it down below, because everyone always asks me, and I'm not sure if it's still available in the UK, because it's an American brand and they only came to the UK for a bit and then they left. So I will try and find it and link it down below. I forgot to do eyeliner, so I'm going to just do that quickly before I move on to my last thing. So I don't really have like a holy grail liquid or gel eyeliner. I used to use gel all the time, which was MAC Black Track, and now I use liquid, but it has to be a matte one. But anyway, I'm not going to really do that category because I don't really have one that I absolutely love, and in fact I don't wear it all the time anyway. But my favourite pencil liner has always been this Lancome Kohl Hypnose waterproof pencil liner. It is a little bit expensive. I'm really sorry about this natural lighting situation. I apologise every time that I film here, but it's just so easy for me to just set up this camera without using any artificial lighting. But I think the sun is going down, so I'm really sorry, but this is the second last product, I promise. So yeah, the Kohl Hypnose waterproof eyeliner pencil. I love this one because it's the only one that doesn't irritate my eyes. I wear contact lenses, as I'm sure you know, and every single other pencil that I've ever tried in my waterline or to tightline with has always transferred onto my contact lenses, making them really blurry, and it just gives me the itchiest eyes ever. And this is the only one that doesn't do that. I think it's because the pencil is quite a hard pencil as opposed to the really soft and creamy ones. So although that is probably more ideal because you don't want to be pushing down quite hard on your waterline, I just love this eyeliner. There we go, that's what it looks like. I also have it in brown, but I don't really wear the brown shade. I wish they made this in a white or a nude because I've always wanted to try that. But again, I'm allergic to everything. Okay, so the last category is setting spray. Now, I don't always use setting spray, but I wanted to include something else that's very similar, and this is definitely my holy grail. I use it for everything. In fact, one of my friends always laughs at me because she thinks I bathe in this product, and I might as well do, to be honest. But anyway, this is MAC Fix Plus. It's a very common misconception that this is a setting spray, and it's not. It doesn't set your makeup, it's a finishing spray. I wrote a blog post last year on, I think it was like 10 ways to use this or something like that. 10 different ways to use it. So I'll link that somewhere up here if you're interested. But what I do with this is after I've done all my makeup, I literally just, like that, spritz it all over my face. It just takes away any excess powder off my face. It just kind of helps melt the makeup into my skin. So for example, if I have too much highlight on, this will just tone it down a little bit, and I just really like it as just the final step. It also makes my skin look the tiniest bit dewy, so this is definitely a staple in my makeup bag. In fact, I've just bought the little travel size one and it's so cute. I cannot wait to take it on holiday with me. Speaking of which, when you watch this video, I will be on holiday, but I'm filming this about just under a week before I go. So things are a little bit stressful because I'm trying to film and edit, I think 15 videos before I go. So it's going to be a lot of bulk filming going on, but I would really appreciate it if you still keep watching my videos while I'm away. I know that sounds like a ridiculous thing to say, but a lot of the times I've noticed that my videos don't always go into people's subscription boxes and they message me on Snapchat to tell me. So I find that every time I upload, I have to sort of push my video out there by going onto Snapchat or Twitter and just saying, oh, I've got a new video up, by the way. But yes, I upload every Thursday evening and Sunday morning. I'm going to try my very best to stick to that schedule while I'm away. But I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and you found it useful in some way. And thank you so much to Siobhan for suggesting this video. I put out a tweet saying, are there any tag videos that you enjoy watching? And she was the one that suggested this. So I'll leave her blog link down below if you want to go and check it out. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me. But thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.